Rocking eyeglasses and a casual official look is Joseph Barasa, a HIV counsellor with 13 years of experience at the Liverpool Voluntary Counselling and Testing Centre in Hurlingham, Nairobi, Kenya. At first glance, one will dismiss him for an ordinary man, especially if you found him on his way to the office. But on paying closer attention, you will realize the extra movement of his hands. It is his language, the language he speaks, sign language. Barasa is deaf. This has been the day-to-day experience for him, and Barasa continues to perfect his craft, a journey he describes as a massive growth compared to when he started his career.
It happens sometimes that in a session where a client comes, they usually think that I'm just like them. They'll think that I'm normal. So when they enter, they automatically start talking, and then I'll start signing. When I start signing, they are shocked. You're deaf and you're working here. So they don't know, they are confused. Either they're happy, but most of the time they're excited to know, now what kind of service will this deaf individual provide?
Barasa attends to all who seek his service, whether deaf or the regular individuals.
The first time I felt inadequate. I was a bit afraid. How come they trusted me to test someone, and yet these results, if I tell someone they are positive, I don't know the repercussions.
We've had some client feedback put in our suggestion boxes that we should not have these people in this center.
However, his journey as a counsellor has not been a walk in the park.
Now, in terms of both languages that I've mentioned, both sign language and written, I usually gauge the education level of the individual. So I'll ask first, see if they understand, if it is a deaf person in terms of writing, when they became deaf, and therefore see which language fits the individual.
He has a way of talking to them using some notes, a paper and a pen, and sometimes he's able to whisper some words to them and provide the services.
The reason why most people don't visit counsellors is because they feel their opinions could not be safe. But in Barasa's case, confidentiality assures them of their safety.
Those who can hear, one of the surprising feedback that we have received in the past is that because Barasa cannot speak out the secrets, they find him to be very confidential.
This is not only with the hearing individuals, but for the deaf peers as well, as a result of the contrast in spoken and signed language.
So when I tell the individual that you're HIV negative, they may think HIV negative is bad. Reason? Negative is usually used to negate something. So that is the deaf culture. But for the hearing community, negative, they'll understand HIV negative, what it means. I don't have the problem or the virus. But the deaf will understand it differently. They may understand, oh, negative, that means I have it, since negative is something wrong. So they'll feel I don't have the virus. So I need now to explain, either with a diagram I draw, and also explain it like to a child clearly, so that they can understand what HIV negative and positive means.
Working in such an environment has forced the organization to adapt fast so as to accommodate not just Barasa, but other staff who are deaf.
We've had to also talk to our staff to, treat Barasa. We also have other staff who are deaf, not just Barasa. So we've had to talk to our other teams to treat them with fairness and understand where they're coming from, understand the issues of the deaf. For example, if I want to talk to Barasa, I will need an interpreter. If I have a staff meeting, my staff meeting will have sign language interpreters. Basically just because I appreciate I have deaf staff in the team.
I'll encourage my fellow peers, my deaf brothers and sisters, never give up, never give up. Believe in yourself, because you can do, and you can do better than also other people.
The life of Barasa is living proof that you do not need ears to listen, and limitations shouldn't determine where you end up. David Kagina, Switch TV.